I declare the meeting open and ask for Councillor Winmar to provide the welcome to country.
Thank you, Worship. I begin by acknowledging my elders past and present, and acknowledge we stand on my ancestral land. This is the land of the Noongar people. Ngalak nining kurlang kuru ngalak noach nija Noongar buja. Noongar murjerpan nining inja ngalak kwabadak Noongar buja kurlang. From the beginning of time to the end, this is Noongar country. Noongar people have been graceful keepers of our nation for many, many years. Jinijin karajin jerpan nija wern Noongar buja ngala maya maya borda. Look, listen, understand and embrace all the elements of Noongar country. It is forever our home. Kai wanjung anko jerpan nija Noongar buja dajli wanganing Noongar buja. Hello and welcome. My heart is happy as we gather on country and meeting here on Noongar country tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd also like to acknowledge that we meet here on the land of the Noongar people and pay respects to elders past, present and those future emerging leaders. I'll call upon Councillor Sue Kearney to read the dedication.
May we, the elected members of the City of Kwinana, have the wisdom to consider all matters before us with due consideration, integrity and respect for the council chambers. May the decisions made be in good faith and always in the best interest of the greater Kwinana community that we serve.
Thank you. We have one apology tonight, and that's for our Chief Executive Officer, Mr Wayne Jack, who has had to return to New Zealand, and I'm very sad to report that that Wayne's mother passed away this morning, so we pass on our sympathies to Wayne and his family on the loss of his mother. We have no members of the public in attendance. We have nothing on item 6, 6.1, 6.2, 6.3. Item 7, 7.1 is confirmation of minutes from our ordinary meeting held on the 22nd of March. Are there anybody wish to raise anything on those minutes? If not, would we have a mover that they be accepted, please? Move Councillor Kearney, seconded Councillor S. Wood. All in favour? Against? So moved. Do we have any declarations of interest? Neil? Any requests for leave of absence? Neil?
Yes,
Oh.
sorry. Could I take leave of absence starting from tomorrow to the 1st of May?
Thank you. Would somebody like to move that way? Move Councillor Kearney, seconded Deputy Mayor. All in favour? Against? Carried. There is nothing on item 10, 11 or 12. Item 12.1, given it is a matter of confidentiality, we'll move and deal with that item at 25.1 later in the agenda. There is nothing on item 13, 14, 15 or 16. Item 17, 17.1 is a draft local commercial activity centre strategy, the adoption for the community consultation and engagement. I do note there is an amended officer's report in relation to an update to attachment 1. Thank you. Are there any questions on this item? Thank you. Would somebody like to move with the the amendment, please? Thank you. Moved Councillor Winmar, seconded Councillor S. Wood. Councillor Winmar, do you wish to speak?
Yes, thank you, Worship. It's quite a comprehensive draft report, and it's growing up and living in the area and frequenting a lot of those local areas at the time when they were buzzing with small business and opportunities for people to congregate and meet and gather. I'm pleased that the level of detail of the report is looking at how they can function moving forward into the future and bring a bit of vitality back into those communities in which they're at. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor S. Wood.
No, thank you, Your Worship.
Anybody wish to speak against the item? I shall put it to the vote. All in favour? Against? Carried. Item 17.2 is the report on state government and agency submissions to a revised amendment number 145 to local planning scheme number 2 the Development Contribution Plan 8 to 15. I do know it is a tidy up of a previous administrative oversight. Are there any questions on this item? If not, we have a recommendation. Moved Councillor Rouse, seconded Deputy Mayor. Councillor Rouse, wish to speak on the item? Deputy Mayor? Anybody wish to speak against? Thank you. I shall put it to the vote. All in favour? Against? Carried. Item 18.1, the monthly financial report for February 2023. Are there any questions in relation to this item? If not, we have a recommendation. Moved Councillor D. Wood, seconded Councillor Brown. Would either Councillor Wood like to speak on the item?
I noticed that in that it's a very thorough report, but I noticed that there's one of our tractors had a major accident, and I never heard anything about that, but it appears that we have to buy a new one now.
Are you asking about the operational nature of this?
Yeah, I'm wondering what went wrong.
Mr Elkins?
Through you, Your Worship, the reason you wouldn't have heard is it was a very low-key event. The tractor gently fell over, and unfortunately, because the cabs, just the cost of materials, I guess, and the damage done to the cab, it's beyond the economic cost to repair. So it's been written off, but the actual damage to the tractor aesthetically is very minor. It's just the way the cost of parts when you buy them bit by bit are, and it's cheaper for the insurance company to write it off. But the incident itself was otherwise very minor, falling over. No one was hurt.
Thank you. Councillor Brown? Anybody wish to speak against the item? I shall put it to the vote. All in favour? Against? Carried. Item 18.2 are our budget variations. Are there any questions of the officers? If not, we have a recommendation. Moved Councillor D. Wood, seconded Councillor Kearney. Councillor Wood, do you wish to speak on the item? Thank you, Councillor Kearney. Anybody wish to speak against? I'll put it to the vote. All in favour? Against? Carried. There is nothing on item 19 through to 21. Item 22, reports of the elected members. Deputy Mayor.
Just briefly, Your Worship, it's been some time since the last council meeting. I attended Cuppa with a Cop along with Councillor Rouse and Councillor Wood at Bliss Momo's in Wellard. There was actually quite a good turnout, very well done by the staff, as usually is the case. I also attended the Reece Whitby's Community Safety Forum along with Your Worship, Councillors Brown and Councillors Rouse. Once again, that even though it was called Reece Whitby's Community Safety Forum, it was pretty much driven by the city's community safety officer and the police, which was very well received by the community that were in attendance. I do note there was a fairly large contingent from a street that's having some issues with some Department of Housing tenants, and it was good to see the police engage directly with those people to try and sort their issue out. And lastly, I attended the Mayor's Easter morning tea along with yourself, Your Worship. That was about all.
Thank you. Councillor Winmar.
Thank you, Your Worship. Again, I reiterate the words of the Deputy Mayor. We've had a pretty jam-packed couple of weeks. I attended the Kwinana Hockey Club Come Try Day on the first, I think it was on the Saturday, and saw that there was quite a number of juniors down there doing the Come and Try, and they had an exhibition match on with mixed ladies and men's, and to lead into the upcoming season. I think it started last weekend was the first game, then they had Easter break, and then they got some further games happening. It was also the weekend of the neighbourhood days. Went to some of the community events. I went to Bertram. bit of confusion. I went to the wrong place. When you put it into Google Maps, it sends you to a different location, and I wasn't the only one. I think the coffee van was late, and there wasn't many happy community members when we were there, but it was sorted not long after I'd arrived there. Attended the Medina residents group event on the green at Ridley Green. That was also well attended. It was actually a nice and pleasant day. It was a little bit overcast. There was no wind around, and they had some great music backgrounds from some local community acts at an open mic. I think a couple of the residents asked me, "Where's my guitar?" And it's like, well, I'm doing a community visit day today, not entertaining. Attended the Wandi event. That was I think that was the biggest event for the day. I attended along with Councillor Brown. We had a bit of a chat about some of the stalls and the festivities that are happening out there. Interestingly, the Kwinana Industries Communities Industry Forum was held, and it was an opportunity to listen to an update of what's happening with with BP, with how they're reconfiguring that site and repurposing as we go with green energy into the future, and also some of the plans, what's happening with hydrogen and some of the other activities that are happening around with the port moving down. Bullamara Group attended with this with Councillor Rouse. There was not many items of note on the agenda, but it went pretty smoothly, and also attended the Executive Appraisal Committee with yourself, the Deputy Mayor. But all in accounts, hope everybody had a safe Easter and the festivities went well. I had the privilege to be able to have some downtime spent with my family. It was just a opportunity not to eat too much chocolate, but all in all, it was a nice time to spend time with family. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you. Did I see you doing a welcome at the opening of Government House as well? You're on TV.
Yes, it's the first time that they've raised the 4 flagpoles at Government House, and it's now going to be a permanent fixture with the Australian flag, the West Australian flag, the Aboriginal Torres Strait Islander flag, and the Aboriginal flag, right at the entrance as you go in. So there's going to be hoisted and flown all year round, and it was a good opportunity to be involved and invited by His Excellency to be able to undertake the official Aboriginal ceremonial component of that, and it was an honour and a privilege. It was well attended, and I think that's it's a good sign of reconciliation moving forward for all West Australians to be able to see in such a manner right in the middle of Perth. Thank you.
Great, thank you, well done. Thank you, Councillor D. Wood.
I have performed all those duties required of me. I've been to a few of the other things that everyone else has been to, but nothing more to report on it. Thank you.
Councillor Rouse.
Thank you, Your Worship. As previously mentioned by the Deputy Mayor and Councillor Wimmer, I attended a couple of the COP and the Bullamara and Reese Whitby's Willow Community Safety Forum. I'd just like to give a big shout out to our Community Safety Officer. I know the Deputy mentioned her, but her presentation to those in attendance was absolutely fantastic. The amount of work that she's done over these last couple of years since she's been here has just been mind-blowing for me. I'm quite proud of the work that she's done. I attended a conference with her in Queensland a couple of years ago, and she took everything on board and then some from that conference. I'd just like to thank her for her hard work that she's been doing. And on Tuesday the 4th of April, along with Councillor Sherry Wood and Councillor Michael James Brown, we attended the Commercial Support Grant meeting. We had 30 applicants, small businesses, applying up to $1,000 of grant funding. And we had a wide range this time, I think, and all worthy applicants. And it's great that the message that we're providing small business, the message that we are providing small businesses with these grants, not just getting out by word, by information from the city, but also by word of mouth from the applicants. So that's spreading far and wide, which is fantastic. Just want to make special mention. This upcoming weekend, we have the 7-day makeover happening in Willard Square. Saturday, we're having our planning day, ideas generation day. So that's from 9:30 to later on in the afternoon. So everyone bring down their ideas of how they would like to brighten up our square. And on Sunday we're getting into the project planning stages. So we'll all break away into little groups and discuss how we can put those ideas into practice for the Monday to the Friday, and that's when we're going to be doing all the hard work. So hope to see you all there, whether it's be for an hour or the whole week. Just come along and roll up your sleeves, do a bit of painting, serve a few drinks, cheer those other people on if you can. So
where is it going to be?
Wellard Square in the Strand. So we'll be meeting each day at the, so Saturday and Sunday will be at the John Wellard Community Centre, and I think we'll be kicking off each day from there as well. But main body of work will be in the section of Strand at Wellard Square. Thank you, Your Worship.
Great, thank you. Councillor Brown.
Thank you, Your Worship. So since the last ordinary council meeting, the city celebrated Neighbour Day, as other councillors have mentioned. And here a number of community-led events were held across the city in the spirit of connecting neighbours and promoting ways to get involved in building community, whether that be on the street, in the neighbourhood, or with local clubs, associations and community groups. It was a real privilege to attend the Wandee Progress Association's Neighbour Day event on Sunday the 26th of March alongside Councillor Winmar. I remember attending the Wandee Progress Association's AGM last year, and everyone said that this local Neighbour Day was a must attend, and it certainly didn't disappoint. It was a huge turnout of residents who got to enjoy a range of family-friendly activities, which ranged from a petting zoo, a train ride, and an introduction to the local fire brigade's firefighting equipment. The event also featured a wide range of volunteer-led stalls, which showcased all the activities that take place at the Wandee Community Centre, including handicrafts, drone racing, sword fighting, and medieval groups. The scale of this Neighbour Day event was really impressive, and so was the preview of everything that goes on in this part of Kwinana, which connects residents and builds community all year round. I want to take this opportunity to say a huge well done to the Wandee Progress Association and all of the volunteers for putting on such a fantastic event, and kudos to all of our community groups and residents across the city who hold their own events across the weekend. On the 4th of April, I attended the Wellard Community Safety Forum run by Rhys Whitby, MLA, our city staff and local police, and that was alongside the Mayor, the Deputy Mayor and Councillor Rouse. And here, I would say a large number of Wellard residents came out to the John Wellard Community Centre. It was fantastic to hear transparent conversations between the different levels of government, our police and the local community on the topic of safety, what's being done right now to tackle these issues, and perhaps some points that may need a little work to give our residents comfort as they go about their daily lives. For the councillors and city staff in attendance, it was a great opportunity to get further insights into the issue that community engagement continuously shows is top of mind for our residents, and I'm looking forward to the strong partnerships between all of the stakeholders in the room that night having a real impact as we move forward. On the 5th of April, I attended the Leader Primary School's early Anzac Day service on behalf of the Mayor, where I laid a wreath on behalf of the city alongside Leader Primary students. I want to thank Leader Primary School for inviting the city to be involved in the special occasion, and well done to all of the staff and students for what was a great dedication to our armed services members who have sacrificed so much to protect our country and the way of life that we enjoy today. And over the past weekend, a number of organisations and community groups put on a variety of Easter events across the city of Kwinana, again bringing people together and making Easter and the long weekend just a little more special for our residents. This year it was my first time taking part in the annual event run by the Homestead Ridge Progress Association down at Homestead Park, which was an Easter egg hunt of epic proportions as children and families searched high and low across the park in hopes of securing chocolate and other great Easter-themed prizes. I have personally never seen anything like this at Easter on such a scale, with so many residents turning out to have a bit of fun, meet new people and catch up with neighbours. A scene I am aware was replicated across the city over the weekend, so kudos to all of our volunteers, community groups and residents for getting amongst it and adding another tradition to the City of Kwinana calendar. Something I forgot to put into my prepared remarks, given how busy we've all been, was the Commercial Support Grant panel meeting alongside Councillor Rouse and Councillor Essenwood, which is great to see entrepreneurship, that spirit for entrepreneurship thriving in our community.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Great report. And how many children did you have to push out the way to get to the Easter eggs, Councillor Brown? I'm sure I saw something on Facebook. No, that was great. That's great. Councillor S. Wood.
Well, I actually attended the couple with the cop as well over in Wellard, but after they had all left. And I had quite an informative chat with several members of the community and over a range of topics, and a really lovely chat with a female police officer who was in attendance there as well. I also I won't mention the community support grant because it's been mentioned flat out. One of the committees that Councillor Kearney and I attended was the Disability Reference Group. It was good that there was 3 or 4 people who, out of the area and from various services, that attended as well. And we had wide-ranging topics, ranging from the height of door handles on public buildings and the council buildings that the disability able people could reach, to the location and accessibility of the beach wheelchair. So, and many things in between. It was a 2-hour meeting, so I can't remember all of it, tell you all of it. We also had several, it was really quite good the way the people from the outside, our council, contributed to the discussions, and they were really informative as well. So altogether it was a productive meeting.
Thank you. Councillor Kearney?
Okay, Sherry forgot to mention that while you're giving out money to businesses, we're giving out money to the clubs, which was
Yes,
yeah,
yep.
with the mayor. Yeah, so we had heaps this time, so that's really building as well. So we might need more money in the future. And
The events.
yeah, and we the same with the disability. We had some really great ideas
Oh, we
about
did.
doing an app for the town or the city to have everything all in one. So hopefully that will go further. But other than that, that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There is nothing on item 23, just a couple of mayoral announcements. It's been a little bit quiet, especially over the Easter holidays, and look forward now to focusing into the autumn and into the winter part of council. Though I did, along with, I noticed Councillor Kearney, we attended the funeral of our former employee, in fact our recreational centre manager several years ago, Mr John Robinson. The CEO and I and Mr Warwick Carter attended the service and wake for Mr Bob Ridley from Ridley's Motor Museum. It was actually led by the Speedway chaplain, and it was held at the premises on Holden Place, and it was absolutely packed out. It was a really lovely tribute to Mr Ridley and the amazing history that he's had in the motor industry throughout Kwinana and beyond. As well as, I just mentioned that Councillor Eswood and Councillor Kearney and I attended the Kwinana Community Grant Funding Panel meeting. We have 3 grant releases a year, and I think there's about 20,000, depends on the donations or the grants, between 20 to 30,000 each time, but it was certainly very well oversubscribed as always. There was quite a few and a few different organisations actually coming forward, which is great. I attended and provided a welcome for the inauguration of the new Impala Kwinana Storage and Distribution Terminal on Kwinana Beach Road. The terminal is one of the group's first Australian fuel import, storage and distribution terminal that brings an additional 2 vessels per month to Kwinana Port and quite a few truck movements through the fuelling station. During construction there was over 50 West Australian contracting firms with over, I've got 500 employees, but I think during the course of the construction they had up to 1,500 employees. I seem to recall their CEO discussing. The new state-of-the-art facility in Kwinana provided more than 225,000 cubic CBMs of storage capacity, expanding the fuel import, storage and distribution capacity of WA to create a more resilient energy market. So if anybody wants to know more about the Impala Kwinana terminal, I have a little brochure here. And just in relation to the Wellard Community Safety Forum and the fantastic presentation provided by our own Community Safety Officer, I'd just like to also acknowledge the work of Councillor Rouse, who you also were part of the presentation, and it wasn't always easy at the time, but I think that you managed it and acquitted yourself very well through the process. I attended the WA Local Government Association Governance and Organisational Service Policy Team meeting today. One of the matters that will be coming forward to State Council for consideration in due course is the abandoned trolley issue, and how New South Wales, and looking at the New South Wales legislation and how they've been able to implement assistance in relation to how local governments deal with the issue of abandoned trolleys, which is really just, I suppose, comes under the litter regulations here, I seem to recall. So that's coming forward in a few months' time. So look, there are my announcements. We do have one matter to go behind closed doors of confidentiality. Moved Councillor Winmar, seconded Deputy Mayor. All in favour? Against? So carried. Thank you. Live? Okay, thank you. We just went behind closed doors to deal with an issue appointing the appraisal agent for the CEO review process, and Council approved all the recommendation and the timelines outlined in that recommendation. There are therefore no further items to be considered. I therefore thank you all for your attendance, and I declare the meeting closed at 5:57. Thank you.